Hey there, light being. I feel called to share a little bit of how uncomfortable slipping through the dimensions has been the last 18 hours. I had a lot of big activations come in for myself as well when we had our online channeling group. It's not just the people receiving. I too go through those activations, and combination of that and some other ways of stepping into my power recently, I think kind of pushed me past a threshold into a different, I don't know, level, non-hierarchical. And last night I was having a headache after so much influx of light and holding space, and I didn't let myself reground properly before running to the store after channeling, which I know better. You know, when we go to these super, super expanded states, it's kind of like heating glass, and then there's the cooling down. And if you do that too dramatically, it's not good for the glass. So that's something I work with in general, especially as a mom. And so last night I was having just this like pounding headache. My stomach hurt. I was like on the verge of migraine, and I went and laid down and like did darkness. And as I started to drift off, I started slipping into the 12th dimension. I went home. I went back to Arcturus in a way I have not done in years. I mean, it wasn't just sort of one thread of consciousness being there, as I often am doing. You know, I have this fractalized awareness that is planted in many places at once. This was all of my human awareness going to that place. And it was so uncomfortable for my ego consciousness. There was fear that came up. There was just like this feeling like all of reality is breaking down. There was a little bit of a feeling of, oh no, what if I never make it back? You know, these are old sensations for me, and sometimes they can bubble up just a little bit with medicine space. But it's sort of this understated thread that, you know, is there, and I can work with it. But I was sitting there just experiencing the 12th dimension more fully than I ever have in this body. I think the level of my awareness stretching over the last many months has really shifted the way I'm experiencing these other dimensional pockets. So I got really, really deep in the Arcturian vibe and was aware of everything that was happening at that moment, the experience my ego was having. You know, like there was this push-pull of like, do I surrender to this or do I bring myself back? Because the whole point is I'm trying to make myself feel better physically right now. And ultimately, you know, when I was talking with the 12th dimensional Arcturian collective there, they were like, no, we brought you back to work on you. That's why you're here. Like, we're helping to heal you right now. And so I surrendered and asked that they pull me out of so much consciousness of it, just because my nervous system, I think, was too fried in the moment to easily work with this level of interaction and awareness. And they immediately did that, and it's like I kind of went to sleep-ish. And that felt really good. That built trust in a way I didn't know I needed to build trust. You know, for me, as someone who grew up really dimensionally slippy, it's a complicated thing sometimes, this negotiation of being here and being there. The amount of awareness can be challenging for my ego consciousness to hold sometimes. There are these child parts of me that can bubble up that are like, it's too much, it's too scary, make everything normal again. Even still, right? Like, I spend a lot of time in other realms, but the 12th dimension is so on the edge of a completely different reality, way of being. You know, that's the beginning of the dimensions that are less directly connected to the Earth experiment. That's where we start to move into like a lot of other stuff. And there's a wibbliness to that I experience sometimes from the ego consciousness perspective. And so I cared for my ego, in these moments where it's kind of having a rough time managing reality like that. The larger me, the soul me will come in and like tend to it like a child. And that helped a lot. And also I just wanted to share that can happen. These sorts of moments of feeling uncomfortable with what you're witnessing can happen at any level of awareness, truly. I mean, this is also what my teachers say. We always want to be compassionate with ourselves, recognizing that we are both absolutely these beautiful galactic beings, and we are humans. We're humaning here for a reason. We are here not to completely transcend the human experience, but to bring a different way of negotiating it. That's it. Sending you love.